Hello? Hello? Trying again. Apparently, Discord hates me. There we go. Okay, sorry everybody. I don't know what's going on with Discord for me today. I joined a voice channel and Discord just says we don't want to put your audio through. My mic's working. I'm not muted, but Discord hates me. Okay, so, as I was trying to say, this is the Link to the Past Randomizer main tournament. We are in the first round. This is the round of 64. This is game 2 between Kaesden and Drieky. The other day, we had game 1 between these two in Cross Hunt. That was Drieky's pick. Kaesden won that race, so Kaesden is currently up 1-0. With a win today, Kaesden would move into the round of 32, where Maniacal awaits. But today is 80 keys with boost. This is Kaesden's pick. So it's 80 keys, and we got to start with the boost. We did get to see the early Aha play, pretty common in this mode. Less common is Drieky making this play into Eastern Palace. We do get that scout on the Lumberjack ledge, nothing today. But I will say, bush crabs are very nice in this one. 3 bombs. The freest of bombs. So Drieky's really hoping for an early benefit to this Eastern play. So far, nothing. It's a risky play, but it can pay out if you get something. But there is our first love out of the Thief drop, so already Kaesden has a lot of access. So we're heading into Blind's Hut now. We'll see what comes out of here. Of course, 5-item caves. We got quite a few of those in Kakariko always. And we're seeing the dark here in Eastern Palace from Drieky. Gonna be always a little bit scary on 3 hearts, but looks like everything's going okay so far. Got the key. Lost a heart, but so gonna try to get that back. Loses another half heart, unfortunately. We get a small key for Turtle Rock there on Kaesden's side. Looks like Drieky's back into the room. Hit the switch. And it looks like he's through without taking another heart of damage. So he'll have to be a little careful still with the big key chest here. But so far so good. Just nothing of benefit yet. Got the pot. Gonna have to get these 2 hearts. Really scary, but 300 bucks is not bad as Kaesden pulls Quake and a hook shot. We don't really care about the maps. Maps and compasses are truly worthless in this mode. Besides talking to Saha for that green pendant knowledge, don't expect too much else on, trying to talk to people. Kaesden forgetting that he does not have the money. Yeah, I mean, that's a good find. Like, 300 bucks this early can be really nice, especially given how stingy Kakariko was. And, like, that does make the play for Zora a lot easier for Drieky. Like, I will say, I think Kaesden should have been a little bit more attentive to his money situation. Like, I really do not like the fact he didn't drop in the well again for an extra 10 bucks. Not the worst, but, like, it's really kind of iffy. And now he gets that 50 off of the library. Like, is he going to go back? I'm really not sure how he's going to play this. He's going to do race game. They both walk as if they were going to try to go around that item, and it turns out, no, you need that item. Hey, we got a big key here on the race game. And it goes to pod. Wow, already 2 pod smalls and a pod big. Kaesden is running back for Bottle Vendor. So he is not going to let that go. I think it still would have been a little better if he had done it with stopping at like the well one more time, but I'm glad he's at least making the check. For the red rang, the best rang. So Drieky does, like, the money advantage is going to be interesting here. Drieky getting 2 300s over in Eastern does give him easy Zora money. Kay's just not going to have that this early. So no real chance for him to play for Zora. Like, he's hoping for more of the 300s to show up, and that's just really unlikely. Another map there in the dam. So far, pretty standard routing, nothing too surprising. I will say I think we would have been a little better off doing the back of escape before going to South Shore, but knowing Kaesden's routing, he could likely head to Agena from here. Yeah, and he's still going to go to Agena, not going to grab that map, but still wants the Agena check. So, like, he could do Agena and then head into back of escape before doing Mini Moldorm to Ice Rod. Yeah, I do want to shout out right now. So I'm doing the solo comp thing here, and I am joined with a solo tracker. We got Nervin Deutsch here on the tracking side of things. So just the two of us hanging out and having fun. And there's our first sword out of Agena. I know Kaesden really likes that play, so really a nice find to have that early. And here comes, I think, the back of escape. I don't think he's going to climb the mountain here. I think he'll do that soon. But first up is back of escape. Gonna take a quick, well, I thought he was going to take a look at the stun prize. Unfortunately, he went through that door way too fast. That is a hammer. So we are already fast approaching Dark World access, and pretty nice Dark World with the hammer glove combo. We are just looking for a Moon Pearl, and I think, like, Case has to feel pretty good. Now, Drieky does not scout race, or does the scout of race game instead of the blind play. Personally, I'm a fan of blind, doing race game in keys modes. Like, there's just such a higher density or higher probability of an item there. I don't think it's a bad play necessarily, just one that I have a personal, that's like my personal take on it. Nice full magic drop from the mini Moldorms. Do not let that disappear. Thank you. And yeah, we got blind MSU for Kaesden today. I believe Drieky is one of the Pokemon MSUs, so definitely some good ones today. So no Pearl yet. I mean, in terms of logic, like, we still have the front of the castle, we still have the Uncle. Zora's in logic, like, that's kind of the worry if I'm Kaesden, is like, you know, I'm not going to have money for it. Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon. Okay. So K's up to 200 rupees. Still good. It's good. Like, if he can get 1 300, he's fine. But that's going to be asking a lot at this point to see if he can actually get that. So I think with that, the fact that Kaesden is immediately going here says he's doing Waterfall Fairy, and then he's probably just going to head back for the Hobo check and skip. Like, he might scout the ledge, but it looks to me more like he's thinking, I want Hobo and the Island Scout more than I want. Okay, so we are going to get a scout of the ledge. He can't get it, I think. Like, between Bomb Samari and Red Boom, I don't think he can. And that's the thing, like, if it's a lamp on Zora that just is, you know, mountain access, it's not a big deal for Kaesden. Like, he'll be fine without the lamp. If that's Pearl, if that's Flute, like, those become a little bit more worrying for Kaesden at this point. Drieky's gonna have, like, just the fact that Drieky can get those checks is really nice. But just a compass there. Drieky did get that sword out of Agina, so Drieky's going to make that same play over to the mini Moldrum Cave. And I'm going to guess we're going to get to see Zora on Drieky's side. And Caves is going to stick to logic a little bit harder here. Going to go for the Uncle and front of escape. I like the play. Like, the only thing we can't touch at all is Aga Tower. And that's not terrible. Like, you know, you don't think you need it for now, so it's not too bad. Uncle's nothing, though. And just a little bit more money, so not a great Uncle. Okay, into Hyrule Castle. Only this first check here, the map chest of Hyrule Castle is currently in logic, based on our key situation, but either way, we've gotten the back to escape. And 30 swords already. 30 swords already. And with those 3 swords, Kaesden is going to check the front of, or the start of Aga Tower. And yeah, as Nervindoik points out, like that Zora lamp, not a huge deal. It just means that, you know, there's our logic. So Kaesden not gonna be hurt too bad by it. He just won't have the lamp for. Oh, okay. There's our first Aga Tower small. And really what Kaesden can take from this is, like, if this is Pearl, like, he'll know Okay, so there's just our desert small. Yeah, I mean, that's a great key to find. Let's be real. Like, that's great. And Kaesden is going to head up the mountain. I think from his perspective now, like, I think he knows the one thing he has access to is either Eastern or Zora. And I think it's reasonable to say he's just not going to worry about it. There's our stun price check from him. It is just a green rupee. He's not too worried about it. Yeah, why not 3 stores in 15 minutes, you know? Let's have a nice, easy run today. But yeah, I feel pretty comfortable if I'm Kaesden at this point. Like, yeah, I don't have the lamp, but I've got fire. So like, even the things that are worrying for him are still good. Drieky having to be a little careful there. Down to 1 heart on the ball and chain guard. Does use the stun to get the job done though, and you got to feel really good getting, you know, your fire rod. So no need for the Spec Rock Cave. We do see that Spectacle Rock key on top. And I also say, really nice little game knowledge there from Kaesden, getting a couple of bombs after dropping down there. And I will say, folks, I will try to be as good about checking if my mic is dropping or something. I apologize. I don't know what Discord or my internet is doing to me today. It is not my friend. So I will try to reconnect or figure out any issues that do pop up. But so far, not really much here in Paradox Cave. A shovel, powder, a couple of oddball checks. Like, I can see a route in for both of those. You can definitely do, you know, big spot into CAC to get your powder check. So there's a way to route it all in. But we will see the Tower of Hera coming up from Kaesden. He'll get his first dungeon prize. We see a shield up there on the floating island. We will not be seeing Mire Shield today. So for those fans of the Mire Shield, apologies, you're just not seeing it. Maybe we'll find 2 more shields and you get to wave bye to a Mire Shield, but we're not picking one up. We have a French Vanilla Pearl? We have a French Vanilla Pearl! So from Kaesden's perspective right now, what he knows is that either the lamp or the flute is available somewhere off the mountain. One of those 2 was supposed to be his actual dark, or his asset for this area. And really the only difference between the 2 runners right now is just that play for Eastern and Zora from Drieky. Kay's not going into Eastern Palace did save him a little bit of time, but it has meant he does not have that lamp off of Zora. So, not a huge deal, but, you know, it'd be nice to have it. Okay, Moldorm fight on Kaesden's side. And down goes Moldorm. Yeah, Tempered Sword makes that fight kind of trivial. Good kill. 10 arrows and a pendant. So there's our first pendant of the race. We might never get that Hera Big Key until GT, and even then, it's not a big deal. So Kaesden's final play here on the mountain will be Spiral Cave. Drieky, not too far behind, will be coming over to Hera, I have to assume, and get his Pearl. So, and then we'll see some Dark World routing. We'll see how they try to diverge, if they diverge a little bit there. So yeah, Drieky's about to get that Powder and Shovel. And there's another small key for Kaesden. This time a Skullwood small key. Not a totally necessary key, but it does make your life a little better. It's one of those keys that can help, you know, you don't feel so bad about stealing keys now for Skull, so, or risk anything, so good find. Okay, there's one of our other 300s, so Kaesden now has Zora money. Not sure how much he'll prioritize it. Another Skull small key. And a little bit more money, so Kaesden a little better set for money for the rest of this race. And yeah, between Canis Samaria, Fire Rod, Big Key, and Small Key to Skull, like, it's just a very nice play to head over to Skull Woods. Now, Kaesden is going to head up here to the Pyramid. He's going to actually skip out on Dig and Stumpy for the moment. This has definitely become a little bit more common of a route, I feel like. And I missed what was on that ledge there, but it is the book, so... Ooh, that is an interesting find. Does give us access to Desert Palace. With our current loadout, we can get 4 items from Desert. We got the torch, the map, and the right side. So nice little find. I think the one worry is, do we have to go back to Ether Tablet anytime soon? Here's hoping no. Geez, Kaesden getting bullied here on his route up to Catfish. Luckily, he's going to make it there safely so he can get this item. Check. Done. And it's just a compass, so nothing. Okay, so Kaesden is not doing the bat or the shovel, and just heading straight into Village of Outcasts. Probably going to go straight for Skull Woods, to be honest. I think you do Skull, probably back to front on your Skull Woods play, and then you find yourself into the Village of Outcasts, and probably down to Dig and Stumpy. Like, maybe you scout out Bumper Ledge, but I think the play here is Skull, Vu, and then South Vu. Ugh, these enemies really are not friends with Kaesden today. Drieky heading over into Height Cave, and then we'll see if Drieky diverges a little bit from what Kaesden did. I'll be curious to see if, you know, maybe we get that left play instead of the Pyramid. And Drieky is also going to the right. Okay. You know, it's interesting, like, the question is, like, when does Kaesden end up in Eastern, and... Because right now, Drieky's just following along. Like, there's no big time differences between the two as a result. That is our big key to Eastern. Okay, so if we get the bow, there's Kaesden's play. Like a bow telling Kaesden, like, go beat Eastern, go into pod. Like, I'd be hoping for a third pod small at this point before going to that area, but even without the third pod small, you still got some good options for item density. Yeah. Not exactly. Why? Kaesden into the back of Skull Woods. Gonna take on the Moth. A little low on health, but should be okay. Tempered Sword does give you that feeling of, like, muscles. Piece of heart there off the dig spot. And Kaesden's just gonna go for this. And very clean kill. 2 spike move, that's, like, ideal. Really, really good kill. I'll be right back. Kaesden, though, getting his second dungeon, his first crystal today. Oh, apparently I missed a ped read here. The Harris small key, Joy. Okay, Bumper Ledge is dead. And here's what I was thinking with Kaesden making this play over to Village of Outcast, where he'll then close out his route down at Stumpy. Like, there's a chance for a little bit of divergence there, but, like, that's just looking like the best play. That's our third Skull Small, so... really nice. That is a Logical Moth. So, Logical Blue Mail. First small key here in Thieves Town is for Ice Palace. Nothing we can really do with that. Nice to have. With the rest of our equipment for ice, like Fire Rod, Tempered Sword, Samaria, like, it's a nice-ish Ice Palace as soon as we get the mitts. The bigger question is going to become, you know, can we get the big key before then? And that is a very, very ideal mirror. Really going to fit the routes very nicely for both of these runners. And we've got red mail as well. So very quickly we go from green to full red mail. We'll see if Kaesden remembers Magic Bat exists. Like, he hasn't done the dig spot, so like that'll route nicely with Stumpy. But like, Kaes and Drieky both kind of not going after that Magic Bat. I'm like, please guys. There we go. Kaesden remembered. Okay, what is on the bat for today? We have a fairy with a bottle, or a bottle with a fairy. So we can check Sick Kid. Okay, that's going to clear out pack. Besides the Smith Chain now. Kaesden, you know, adeptly dodging that portal, so we can check the Sick Kid. And there's our second shield. So we will get to see the mirror shield, folks. We will run by the mirror shield, but we're not picking it up. But I did miss it specifically, but Drieky does get through his moth fight for his second dungeon. So both runners really kind of just, you know, working through. I will say it's hard to not kind of focus in a little bit on Kaesden's routing right now, just because he's kind of giving us the new info. That is the Swamp Big Key, though, on Dig Game. Like, realistically, Drieky is kind of just following Kaesden's route. It's not wrong, it's just not helping him gain any. His big advantage is a lamp, and, like, that's nice. But there's another 300 for Kaesden, so, like, if Kaesden makes his way to Zora anytime, he'll be able to get those checks. Stumpy has our big key to Turtle Rock. You know, I was really hoping that we were going to find that desert big key. Because, to be honest, I think I'm doing Bombo's tablet into Desert Dive at this rate. Like, I think I'm going to be a little greedy and say I want the, I want that bow before going to Pod Eastern right now. We definitely have a lot of access, so, like, I would still do, like, if this doesn't turn up a bow, I think I still head to Pod Eastern. But Bombo's tablet is just 10 arrows, no gain there. Really, I will also point out, having that mirror does mean that a return for Ether Tablet's not too bad either. That is a big key on Desert Ledge. So we're finding a lot of our big keys pretty quick. This is really nice. Not as many kind of outstanding bigs. Kaesden, recognizing the fact he's got the Desert Small Key, is taking the objectively right route here. Gonna go to right side and hit these right side checks, locked behind the Small Key, and then he'll work his way back over to the left. Okay, nothing on right side. I will point out, Drieky is going to give us some new info. Getting that mirror and saying, I'm not going to go south yet, I am going to go north. We're getting Graveyard and King. King's Tomb, just 3 bombs. Nothing really valuable there yet. Let's see if that Graveyard Ledge does pay out, though, because that could be really nice to kind of give him some options. In the map chest, we get our 3rd Desert Palace, or sorry, Dark Pod key, so nice find there for Kaes. That'll route very nicely into after this. And Graveyard Ledge also nothings. So unfortunately, Drieky making the dip here, and it just, you know, was not the right answer this time. And we do have our last pendant. Desert Palace is our final pendant. Here's our big key off the ledge, and it is the Ice Big Key. So if we get those mitts, Ice becomes a very appealing dungeon. And I think for Kaesden, this is going to be Pod Eastern. Like, that's his best play. Figure a 4th pod small is probably available somewhere, so the 4 key checks in pod are probably available to us. So next up, I have to assume like mitts are coming soon, if not the flippers. But the flippers don't do a lot for us, so like it could be a combo of the two, or it's mitts to give us access to the dark mountain for something. But here we go, Kaesden heading for Palace of Darkness. He's got plenty of money for this. Meanwhile, Drieky is finishing out his loop down to, I'm going to guess, Bombo's Tablet, and probably head into Desert as well. So he'll get that 3rd pod small off of the map chest of Desert. Kaes is going to dip into pod first. He's got 3 keys, so even if he only spends 2 of them, he will get at least 10 items. Or more. 11 checks, so really nice Palace of Darkness here for him. He's going to get a lot out of this, a lot of new info coming as well. Drieky is heading back to CAC. Is this Drieky remembering the powder? Yeah, this is powder, unfortunately. Kaesden gonna see if we can get a hover going today. Not great. Unfortunate for Kaesden, does not pull off that right side ledge hover. Really not happening for him. But that is a small key to Hyrule Castle. Hey, Fire Rod's in Logic now, folks. It took us almost 40 minutes, but we found the logic behind the Fire Rod. And our our 2nd sword. So now we have a logical 3 swords and a logical Fire Rod. I know you care so much. Kaesden going for his Mimic Clip. Always love seeing a good bufferless clip here. Just pushing him out and... Ooh, there we go. Bye, Mimic. Meanwhile, Drieky is heading for this small key on the Spec Rock, as well as Ether Tablet, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Spike Cave from him. He's got that Burna. I think this is all 3 of those checks being coupled together. Okay, there is our a bottle there on that side. That small key was to Mire, by the way. So not a huge deal, but, you know, you like having at least one of them. We've now got all of them, though. And Ether Tablet's not the answer either, so... Kaes going for the rail clip, or the clip through the blocks there. Doesn't get it the first time, gets it the second. Here comes Spike Cave down for Drieky. I think, given what we know, this is likely going to be a pod small out of Spike Cave, I think. Like, I'm very much could be wrong here, but like, given what we know, logically this is very likely a pod key. And it's not. I'm wrong. That's a Thieves small key. That's a good find. And that is a big key to Tower of Hera. Kaes is going to spend his third pod small here. He knows he'll find a fourth before long. There's the cape, so he's got both invulnerability items. Not huge benefits, but eh. I think the Eastern Big Chest is turning into kind of like the play we need to make very quickly. That's all we have. Like, that could be pod 4 to put the Hera Big Key into logic, which puts the Hera Big Chest into logic. Like, that just might be the answer now. And I could be all wrong, and this could just be, like, mitts available. There's Ether Medallion, though, in the Dark Maze. And we get a big key to Mire, so very nice finds here in Pod. Nothing in the moment being amazing, but, like, a second medallion, a big key to Mire, Thieves' small key. Like, these are just little luxury items to us. Like, that does eliminate another, another thing that could have been in GT. Mire Access likely will be available. Like, Flute could still be inside of Ganon's Tower. There's nothing saying it can't be, but either way, like, things are starting to shape up a little better for what might be there. There's less than we thought. But Kaesden is just clearing out, so we've got both of our runners kind of clearing out what the other did. Drieky working through Desert Palace here, Kaesden working through Eastern. The new info, of course, is going to be this Eastern Big Chest. But I think if Kaesden's paying attention to the logic of this seed, he will know that Zora is either his lamp or Flute now. Like, he's going to get that knowledge really shortly. Like, this is his last check that wasn't logic then, and it'll be like, okay, all money, Pearl was Flute lamp locked, so Flute or lamp has to be Zora. A vanilla bow! Oh, this game's got jokes, folks. This seed is thinking it's funny. Yeah, and unfortunate for Kaesden. Gonna have to come back to Pod later to clear out the dungeon. I think, like, if he doesn't find Pod 5, like, so it's really Pod 4 is the big deal here, but really for him, like, he'll make the play. He might just say, I'll wait on Helma until I've got Pod 5, so I can get Vanilla Big Key Chest as well as the boss. So he might wait for 2 additional small keys at this rate. And I say that knowing that, like, for all I know, a pod small is here on Armos. Like, if there's a pod small here, then Kaes might just go and kill Helma's Thor, but, like, I think more likely he'll probably wait until that 5th pod small shows up. But here we go, Armos fight. This fight is completely in logic. With or without the lamp at this rate, although the seed hinges on the lamp. Is this mitts? Is this flippers? It's the mitts. There we go, folks. We've got more access finally. And there's our second crystal for Kaesden. So Drieky's also going to work through all these pod checks. We'll see how Drieky handles this. You know, if Drieky decides to kill off or use that third key on the Harmless Hellway. It's a little aggressive from Kaesden, but it's not a bad play. It just might not be the right one. Kaesden heading over to this. He's going to do the Splash Deletion so he can get into Ice Palace. Unfortunately, I think he's got a little bit of an issue with the fact that he fired off all those arrows against Armos. So rather than resetting the value there, he's just going to go for the fake flipper. Drieky going for his Mimic Clip is doing the buffered version using select buffers. Always a little scarier, but should be fine. And does get it. Very nice. He's unfortunately missing that first shot with the Fire Rod. Drieky into the back of pod. We're going to pay attention to how Drieky spends this key here. Or if Drieky spends this key here, I guess is the better question. What helps Drieky here is, like, even if Drieky's a little behind, he does kind of have a bit more of a limited scope of what's left. And Drieky doesn't spend the key. So Drieky should get that bow and be able to come right back into pod for the Helmasaur fight. This is a nice little advantage for him. Like, I think the one concern for Drieky at that point becomes, you know, the two checks, like the two 6 key lock checks he's not going to get. Because I don't see him going back for those. Yeah, we have a vanilla bow in Eastern Palace. I will say for Kaesden, I think he should probably get the key on the right side here. The Anti-Fairy Room, because he's not doing great for magic for this Cold Stare fight right now. So yeah, Drieky's about to get his vanilla bow out of the Eastern Big Key, or the Eastern Big Chest, and go take down the Armos Knights. Town Compass there in the Ice Big. Nothing really major here out of Ice. He is going to get this small key. Oh wait, he has to get it. That's right. Get the heart, please, as well. Get yourself back up to full health. But after this, I'm going to assume Kaesden's going to go back up the mountain. Okay, Kaesden will need to use Sword Beams for this fight. So he needs that full health into this fight. And just gonna have to be a little careful about it. But he seems aware, so should be fine. Really nicely done on the sword dupes. Yep, Drieky's heading back into pod. He will get the Helmasaur kill here. This is going to be his kind of like advantage for a while, is just being able to get this kill so early. And Kaesden is not going back up the mountain. I thought we might have seen the mountain play here. But I was completely wrong about his intention. Smith Chain might be it? Not sure I'm in love with this play. I thought we might have seen the density, but maybe he's hoping for some more TR keys before making the call. Like, we've only got a big and we've got the big and a small. So, like, if he can get another TR key here before then, it's definitely a nice little thing. Oh, he's getting Graveyard and King as well. Okay. So, throwing a little bit of time back to Drieky here. Yeah, I know Kaes does not like to orphan one of those checks, so I'm not surprised he kind of paired them. But there's that Helma fight from Drieky. Really nicely done. Good, clean kill. Is there something here? That's a small key to GT. Thought maybe we would have gotten something really nice out of it. Unfortunately, just a GT small. Not a massive find. It's our second. We're happy to have it, but not one that changes the flow of this race, really. Like, you'll get that key before you get to GT. And Kaesden is gonna Kern jump. This could be Zora for him. I think he's recognizing logic here, and this is him trying to get it. Very nice first attempt on that Kern jump, though. Really cleanly done. Yeah, this tells me exactly that that's what Kaesden was thinking, was like, I got the play, I got the piece that I needed to know that, like, Zora is something, and I want to know if what this logic is. If this is flute, like, he's worried that this is the flute. This could be his way to the Mire area, and he doesn't want to miss this. So if you're thinking, like, why does he care? It's only a lamp. It is only a lamp. But in his mind, if it is the flute, like, he needs this, and he cannot sacrifice this find. So this logic resolution does make a lot of sense for him. It's interesting, because, like, we had a different race with Kaesden in his group setting where he actually needed to know that as well. You know, the logic in his second race against Ahab had a lot of logical implications for a check or two. And, you know, who recognized the logic really got the advantage. So, you know, keeping it in mind does help. We are seeing Smith Chain on Drieky's side. That is our 4th pod small. So Kaesden's going to be happy to get that. but it doesn't make a big difference until we get pod 5. Like I said, I think Kaesden waits for pod 5 so we can full clear the rest of the dungeon. So it looks like Kaesden is going to be a little bit, he's going to be following a little bit here. Not a big deal. Kaesden up the Ice Palace, Drieky up the pod. So dungeon-wise, we're even at 4 apiece. So we'll see what the next play is. Ice Rod off of Purple Chest. Very nice find. We still are short TR keys to kill Trinex. But you really do like to see that sooner. That's one of those bad items that knocked out. I will say, you know, I think there's a good reason to maybe have hit Ice Palace first in case you could get an extra TR small. But I don't blame Drieky for going straight for the mountain here. Like, I definitely think there's part of me that would be like, I want to have the ability to take down Trinex more likely. Like, I think you have to make the dip, but I'd rather have a little bit more of a chance for the clear. As I said, there's your Mire shield, folks. We're not picking it up. If either of them pick it up, I might mercilessly mock them, even though I don't mind the Mire shield. It is Quake for TR, so we can get in. So item-wise, we're still missing Flippers and Flute, but we've pretty much found the necessary items. Drieky going right into TR. This is aggressive. I'm not going to deny that. Like, I get it, but, ooh. Like, I'd be thinking, let me hit Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny first, just in case, because, like, the seed's starting to tell you that TR could be the answer, but I want to know how far into TR I've got available. I'm a little worried that, like, this will be a back and forth play for Drieky, especially given how much, like, it feels like this has to be the play. The Hera Big Chest is definitely a little bit more of a one-off for Drieky. I think Kaesden might hit the Big Chest here. It's a chance. It's a chance that might have existed, but as soon as the Dead Rock got in his way, he just said no. There is our second TR small. So as I said, this becomes a little bit more interesting of a dungeon. And yeah, Drieky's going to leave. I have to assume if he gets another key, then we're back in. But even if I don't, I might still go back in just because of how much that second key puts into logic. Like, that second key gave us Big Chest, Mimic Cave, and Crystal Roller Room. So 3 good checks still available in logic, and technically we could steal the Pokey Key and get all the way to Laser Bridge now. So definitely some good options available to us. And yeah, Kaesden is going to hit these checks first, so let's see. But Hookshot Cave, $5, not a big deal. There's a small key to Swamp. Where are the flippers, folks? We need those flippers. There's another heart container and a small key to Pod. So there's Pod 5. On Drieky's side, that means Kaes will get his 5th Pod small. So when Kaesden goes back to Pod for Helma, he will get the big key chest, and that'll be a clear. Drieky is going back for Hera, so that talk about, you know, Hera big chest, we are going to get to see it here from Drieky. If this is a TR small, or even the flippers, like, very nice advantage. Drieky going for hook speed. I love hook speed Hera pot. I will say, apparently I've been told that if you get it in the first, like, 2 or 3, it's as fast or faster than the bread pot version. So unfortunately, that advantage has left for Drieky. But yeah, I'm a bigger fan of the way Drieky does it than what Kaesden did with bread pot. But that's just me. But here we go. Hera Big Chest versus TR now is the question. And Hera Big Chest gives us the big key to Thieves Town. Oh man, okay. There's our answer. So the question is, will Kaesden get back to the Hera Big Chest? We need that big key. There is no way around the Thieves Town big key in this game. Kaesden really having a moment there of clarity. If you cross through that door while deactivating the cape, you can actually be into this glitch state where you just continually move down or up. And there's the flippers out of chops. Ooh. Honestly, with Drieky's information of, like, what is he missing for GT mode? Besides, like, a TR small. Kaes, you gotta go to Hera Big Chest here. And he doesn't. That is huge. Kaesden's gonna get the swamp clear, but until he goes back to Hera, he's kind of in a rough spot. Like, I think the leave is a good call. Like, I like the play from Kaesden here to bail. There's a lot more options here off the mountain than on the mountain, but missing that Thieves Town big key is going to be the big one. We do get a little bit of a camera unlock there in TR to force the Pokey off screen to open the door. We just might be looking at a Game 3 coming up. Still a little bit of a ways to go. There's still some stuff that can go in either direction. We still need a flute. We need a desert big key. We need a CT small. We need a GT big key. So there's still some stuff that can go. Like, I will say that pod big key chest, if it's anything, I'm a little worried about Drieky for that one. So there's still plenty to go here, but I will say Drieky's in a better position. The other question becomes is, does Drieky get anything out of this deep TR run? Kaesden bailing right after flippers appears so far to have been a really smart play, but we've still got all of Laser Bridge and this Crystal Roller check. We got a small key to Castle Tower, so that appears to be a big deal, but there's really no way Kaesden misses that key. So, and we've gotten both checks out of Castle Tower, so not a massive deal right now. Drieky gonna have to be a little careful here, down to 2 hearts in the Dark Maze. We get a small key to Turtle Rock on Kaesden's side, so that when he goes back to Turtle Rock, that's a really easy play for him to finish up. He will definitely get to beat TR the next time he goes there. Yeah, like, you know, chat, you're pointing out all these things that can still be available in, you know, GT. It's the combination of where these things could all be. We do get the mushroom. We do get a death here for Drieky. Not a huge deal. I think, yeah, we saw the fairy. So we're still fine. And we took the safety door. Ouch. We get a small key to TR on Laser Bridge. That is huge for Drieky. That is, like, that's massive. The fact that he gets rewarded with that small key just really opens up the play. Can't deny how big that is for him. And there's half magic for Kaesden. So, realistically, after this, Kaesden probably heads back up to TR. He got his third small key. So he goes there, he beats TR, he gets the fourth TR. Maybe he goes back for Lava Island, and then realistically, he has to make a play for Hera Big Chest. If he goes up the mountain again and does not get Hera Big Chest, he's in real trouble. But really strong kill there of Trinex for Drieky. So for at least a little bit, Drieky is going to take the dungeon lead with his 5th dungeon. He gets a small key for his trouble to Ganon's Tower. Meanwhile, Kaesden in the basement here gets a small key to Pod, so that's Pod 6. He's got all of his Pod keys now. And as I said, like, we are in GT mode. Like, with this equipment, we actually have logical GT mode at that. We've seen all the keys to get into Ganon's Tower. Kaesden going for the 0 cycle Argus. And he gets it really nicely done. Gonna save some time there. We'll see how Drieky does with his play on Argus, but really good find. And that does it. That is Swamp Palace fully cleared for Kaesden. Thieves Town small key, we've had the Thieves Town small key. I think Drieky has it. I don't think either of them missed it. I know it's not marked on Drieky's tracker, or it's not marked on Drieky's side of the tracker, but I thought he picked it up as well. No, Drieky does have it. Thieves is our other 5-6. Kaesden's going to run to Pod here. Yeah, and unfortunately the tracker just eats inputs, as we all know. But yeah, I think we got it in the Rupee basement of Pod. So I think that was 4 key locked in Palace of Darkness. So 5 dungeons apiece. They're each going to be doing their 6th right now. We'll see if Drieky does a full clear here. He should recognize he's in GT mode, and GT is becoming his best play. Okay, here's one of those big outs for Kaesden, though. This is one of the scarier checks for Drieky. Drieky did not get the Pod big key chest, only had 3 small keys, so he skipped Harmless Hellway and the big key chest. We'll see if this is anything. If this is one of our Go mode items, this could be really a turnaround moment, and it's just $300. Drieky is completely safe from the Pod play, so really good for him. So if you're rooting for game 3, like, that is one of those things you wanted to see, is that was not the answer. So the unfortunate part for Kaesden here is he will have an additional mountain climb. He's going to go up for TR, he'll beat Turtle Rock, and then he has to go back to Hera and then get that Thieves Town big key out of Hera. Realistically, there is still one, like, kind of landmine left for Drieky, and that is Lava Chest of TR. If there is anything in Lava Chest that Kaesden pulls when he gets that 4th TR key, and we'll see how he approaches it even, he might just say, I don't want to do it. Like, if he gets nothing there, it's fine for Drieky, but if that's Flute, if that's Desert Big, if that's GT Big, like, any of those 3 really becomes an issue. Because Drieky's gonna full clear Ganon's tower basement. Like, that's where he's headed. And I have my doubts that between Thieves Town, like, with Thieves Town left, we're not getting 3 go mode items. Kaesden into his Helmet fight, so he'll be clearing out Pod. And Drieky into the back portion of Swamp here. So 6th dungeon for Kaesden, coming up to a 6th dungeon as well for Drieky. And after this, I assume Drieky goes Ice, Kaesden's going back up to TR. So pretty much just covering each other's tracks and clearing out some dungeons. Drieky going for that that 0 cycle, gonna just miss it. Really good 1 cycle, very fast 1. So Kay's a few seconds saved on Argus, but nothing really that big of a deal. Good kills from both of them. Like, this has just been a very strong race from both runners. Good, efficient routing from both of them. Just a couple of decisions here or there making the big difference. Drieky hitting Hera Big Chest a little earlier is nice. Kays hadn't gotten bit by anything up to that point. And that's kind of going to be the difference for a little while. Drieky is going to be into Ice as Kaesden is into the rest of his TR play. We'll get a good picture of how things look based on, you know, the Ice and TR clears. Like, and it really comes down to Kaesden has to go over to Hera after this. If he gets Flute and skips Hera again, then we're kind of like... And I say that, like, the Flute would be good for Kaesden, but it's still not good overall. Like, he's gonna miss the Thieves Big for longer. So Kaesden will not spend the key here. Yeah. No reason to spend the key. He's got 3. He doesn't want to risk it. He's going to have a good laugh when he gets TR4 on Laser Bridge. We'll see how he handles it. I have to imagine he goes back in because he doesn't get a dungeon out of the rest of this. He's going to get Castle Tower available, but like he's gotten both items out of Castle Tower. So from his perspective, this is kind of just like, cool, I've gotten a couple more keys that I want, but nothing definitive for me to move on. Yeah, and that's the thing, is like, if Lava Chest is anything, it falls roughly towards last location territory for Drieky. Like, that is the biggest risk here. Like, Drieky's route's been really good, and like, you know, the stuff that could have burned him hasn't, which is great. This is kind of the last one. Like, I will say, if this is nothing, Drieky's in the lead. I don't think it's a massive lead, but it's enough that Drieky could keep to it. Like, Kaesden is still a little bit behind for this 7th dungeon. Like, he'll have his... They're both in number 7, but Kaesden's a little behind and doesn't have an easy option for 8th right now. I mean, the big question is, like, we still don't even have a GT Big Key. Like, that's one of the biggest worries here is GT Big Key is still not found. That's really outstanding. We do have the mushroom, though. I just realized we do have a mushroom turn-in. Good kill. Really fast kill there from Drieky on Cold Stare. That is Dungeon 7 for Drieky. Please, just use Burna, please. Kaesden, please. Kaesden's thinking about it. He's like, I've got all 4 keys. I need to hit Lava Chest. Wait a minute. Is this Drieky hedging his bet? Wow. I gotta admit, folks, I'm a little surprised. I thought Drieky might have just gone for it, but he is hedging against the pod play. Both of our runners really surprising me here with this one. Like, I thought Kaesden might have beat Trinex and then gone back in for lava. He's going straight back for lava. Meanwhile, Drieky going right back to pod for the 2 6-key lock checks. This is a shocker. Yeah, this is time given back to Kaesden. I think Drieky still has a little bit of an advantage. Like, the fact that Kaesden went right back for the lava island check does kind of give some of that time immediately back to Drieky, but it gets interesting. And maybe the bigger issue is Kaesden just having a rough go of Laser Bridge. Okay, Lava Island. What are you? Are you something, or are we not worried? That's 20 bucks. That is nothing. Drieky is fine on the Lava Island. So that does mean, like, Kaesden's next play after this should be Hera. He'll get his Thieves' Big Key. Now, in terms of plays after this, so as I said, we're in GT mode on Drieky's side. What we saw from the map check from Kaesden is that our second 5-6 crystal is Thieves' Town. So you're 3 from go by the time you beat Thieves. GT Big, and it could be 4 even. Like, we could need Bombos Medallion. Like, is there a world where you do Pyramid Fairy after taking down Thieves, and Drieky's gonna actually turn in the mushroom? Once again, like, this is just a couple of little checks that could really help Kaesden claw back in depending on what's on them. And the mushroom turn-in gives us just some bombs. Okay, Kaesden heading back over to the west side of Death Mountain. Hopefully he recognizes Hera Big Chest is the play and not just Spike Cave, because both of those checks are over here for him. But he's pulling out the mirror, it looks like. Yep. No. Kaesden! Kaesden! No! I hope he's gonna hook speed out of here. But he is not. He's saving and quitting. Kaes, you gotta go back to Hera. But he is gonna turn in his mushroom. So this is, like, once again, Drieky's in the driver's seat here. I will say, we've still got plenty of race left. Like, with 3 Go Mode items left, this is not a done deal, but this is looking better for Drieky than it is for Kaesden. We'll see how that next kind of goes. Kaesden is on the mountain, so he's going to get his Thieves' Big Key next. Okay, new checks here for Drieky. What do we got? In the attic of Thieves Town, just some bombs. So no, that's not the answer. I think really what you're hoping for here is your GT Big. Like, you want to be up on the mountain with GT Big already and not have to worry about it being somewhere else. And because of the fact that we don't have it, I might play for Pyramid Fairy. So yeah, it looks like Drieky is going to be up at Thieves Town by the time... Yeah, Kaesden's about to get it, so like, Kaesden might be entering Thieves when Drieky finishes it. More bombs out of the cell. Yeah, I gotta think Kaesden's not feeling too great about that one. Okay, second to last check here. Thieves Town Big Chest is a piece of heart. So we're gonna... If it's not here on blind, it's either GT or Pyramid Fairy. Those are really the only plays we have left at this point. Yeah, I'll be curious to hear from Kaesden if that Dead Rock is what kept him out of Hera. Because, like, he was there for Ether Tablet mainly, but, like, did the Dead Rock tell him, like, push him out of the play? Or was he already not thinking Hera Big Chest? Like, he could have just said he wasn't going there to begin with. I could believe either is the case with Kaesden. Both CT checks were done earlier. We got a CT Small and a Master Sword. So there's the Desert Big. Okay. So yeah, we've really done everything except for Pyramid Fairy, now Desert, and GT. We've seen every other check in the game we had available. Lumberjack Ledge is nothing. So that's not really going to be the play either. And we did do both of our CT checks. This might be Pyramid Fairy from Drieky. That or Desert. I'm not sure which. This is Pyramid. Okay, he's gonna go for Pyramid Fairy. Having a little bit of trouble there with the damage boost on that screen, but so far so good. Good hook speed, wow, or good hook dash there. Okay, Pyramid Fairy, what do you got for us today? As we get bullied by a bee. The compass to swamp, and the flute! We are just looking for a GT big key for go mode. And if Drieky wasn't already in control, I feel Drieky's got a great advantage at this point, getting flute before GT. Like, Kaesden needs to do Pyramid Fairy or he is sunk. Like, I think the one thing that could change things, there's not enough, I think, to change this for Kaesden. Okay, we'll see what Kaesden does here. He's starting at his house, so is this desert or is it Pyramid Fairy? He's got the book out. This might be desert. It's desert. Unfortunate. Desert Big Chest, what do you got for us? Just a piece of heart. And I'll say this race has been really great on the back and forth. Like, both runners really doing a great job with this one. It's, you know, just a few spots here or there. Drieky playing it a little bit safer here in the late game has paid off immensely. That Pyramid Fairy play, you know, sometimes doesn't work, but really did today, and don't blame him for making it. Like, we had a lot left for go mode. Like, you might be looking at this going, oh, this is closer than it looks. We're tied up on dungeons. They're both in desert. But that flute, huge. Huge, huge, huge flute. And I think worst case for Kaesden here is that the GT big key's on Landmo. Like, he's already in a bad position. I will say, given how thorough Drieky has been, like, I don't know if I see him skipping checks in Mire. Like, he might just try to full clear Mire in order to get his GT big key before going up the mountain. He's gonna check checkerboard first, which is really heads up, but we'll see if he goes for the full clear of Misery Mire. No, Ped is very much alive with that Hera small key. For all we know, Hera small key locks GT big. We just need a GT big key for go. But, like, when you think about it, Ped is 1 out of 20 plus checks right now. It's very much on life support. We might be getting Pyramid Fairy, though, from Kaesden, so there's still a chance here. This is interesting. Drieky's still up 2 or 3 minutes. Like, it's still Drieky's race. Kaesden did not read Ped. I will tell you, Kaesden is not a Ped fan. And Drieky's going right to Vidi. Okay, this is interesting now. Yeah, I mean, if as soon as you get GT Big Key, you're in go. So, like, we don't have much left. Gonna check that chest on the bridge. Really heads up. It's nothing. Yeah, I'll be curious what Kaesden's thoughts are on Pyramid Fairy. He could feel behind and that he needs this play. He is behind, he needs this play, but this isn't enough. So there's Vidi with the cape and half magic and butter sword. That is an easy fight. Really clean, really fast 0 cycle. And Vidi has bombs. Okay, so Vidi is not the answer, but there's our green pendant. So we do have pet access. We do have green pendant access. And we still have 6 items left in Mire. And all 6 of them are in logic, folks. We've had all 3 Mire Smalls for quite a long time. But Drieky back in. So Drieky playing a little aggressive at the start to go for the kill immediately of Vitreous. Doesn't pay out necessarily, but he's going back in, so he's not going to let that burn him. Another heart container there in the spike chest. Nice clean Mire 2 from Kaesden. Here we go. Torches over on Drieky's side. We'll see if that is anything. We'll see how Kaesden plays the rest of this dungeon. He is going for the clear. Kaesden is skipping the cutscene chest. This might be a full skip from him. Nice Mire rail clip. Drieky coming right up on that chest as well. We'll see if he does the clip. He is going for it. And gets as well. Nicely done from both of our runners. Big chest, nothing. Small key to Ganon's tower there in the map chest of Mire. This is our lax check here in Mire for new information, and it's just 20. Kaesden going to Viddy. We'll see how thorough Drieky plays this climb up to GT. He knows that the hair is small key is on the pedestal, and he also has a green pendant turn in. Depending on how Kaesden plays after the turn in, could help him. But Drieky is going to the mountain. So this tells me maybe? No, he's going. He's going to at least get Saha or Ped. Saha's first, okay. Green pendant turn-in, what are you today? Bombos medallion, not the answer. Okay, we're gonna flute. Are you fluting to 3 or to 1? Are you gonna pick up the pedestal, Drieky? You are, okay. Kaesden's gonna go for spin strats here without the cape. Very nice 0 cycle from Kaesden with just that tempered sword. Folks, depending on what Kaesden does here after Mire, we could have a race. This is not over by any stretch, folks. Kaesden's probably not doing Ped. I know the man, and he does not check pedestal very frequently. And he's mirroring, he is fluting. This is... Oh, this is going to be a race, folks. If Kaesden does not go to the green pendant, he's going to the mountain. This is a race. Oh! Kaesden has to be feeling behind. He's got to feel pretty good about the flute, but he knows that that Thieves Town big key really burned him hard. I'm sure he's aware of it. Knowing his mind about these things, like he's worried about what that Thieves Town big key meant. And Drieky's probably going to do Hera Basement first. Oh, man, folks. Oh, my gosh. And Kaesden's into GT. If this is not in Hera Basement, I think Kaesden's in the lead. Like, I don't see much of a spot for Drieky to sneak in. And yes, we did get to see the great comparison of Paradox versus Super Bunny for getting up to Ganon's tower. We always talk about it, but we actually got to see it pretty much side by side. Very minimal difference in terms of the time. Okay, here we go. Is it Hera Basement? No, it is a small key to ice. Kaesden into a slim lead. the slimmest of margins here, folks. This is... And Drieky's going left side. If Drieky goes full left, he saves time on this basement play. This is not over. Now, if this is a Dark Magician route, this gets a little bit less helpful. So we'll see what kind of route Drieky takes here with all the keys. He's stunning enemies. This tells me it's Dark Magician. No, he is? He's continuing. Okay. I wasn't sure what his route was going to be, but yeah, he is going to continue left side. Green Pennant turn-in was the Bombos Medallion. So, yep, everything's been checked. There's the silvers. We know the GT Big Key is in Ganon's tower. Like, that's just all there is to this. We know it's here. But this is going to be an exciting finish, folks. You know, this has been a back and forth one. Two really, really strong runners. And there's the big key to Ganon's tower in Rando Room. Kaesden is first in to go at 142.37. Drieky not far behind. This is probably going to be a little less than a 30-second lead. Maybe a little more than 30 seconds. There's the GT Big Key for Drieky, 143.10. So yeah, 33 seconds separate our runners finding their go mode. Yeah, this is an execution race. The only advantage that Drieky has is the Butter Sword, and as long as Kaesden's playing on his game, he'll get the one cycle of Ganon for phase 1 and 2, so this is not even that big of an advantage. Yeah, Gold Sword, as long as Kaesden hits the 1-on-1 on Ganon with Tempered, is 0. It's nothing. If he were to miss it, it is a time save because Gold Sword guarantees the 1-on-1, but other than that, it's nothing. Okay, Landmo 2 for Kaesden. He's going to get through the door at 144.20, 144.21. Yeah, but with the silvers, what I'll say incoherent is the silvers kind of don't matter then either. Like, Kaesden's got the silvers for it. Drieky coming up on his Landmo 2 fight. We'll see when he goes through the door. Remember, Kaesden was through at 144.21. Good 0 or 1 cycle there from Drieky as well. So that 144.21. 144.57, so we're still talking about 36 seconds, so not really much time. The bonk is really where Drieky lost time. They had very even gauntlets. And Mold Worm. Ooh, nice hook shot there. Okay, hook's over at 145.45 for Kaesden. Nice triple there to start from Kaes. Nice double there even on a terrible pattern. 1:45:23, so still about that 36-second lead for Kaesden. Aga 2 down at 1:46:30 for Kaesden. Really strong 3-cycle from him. We'll see what Drieky can do with those patterns. They're not easy. Kaesden really got pretty much the ideal Aga 2 fight for those patterns. And already there's a 1 from Drieky, so not gonna probably pick up time here. And another 1 on phase 2. So yeah, this is at least gonna be 1 cycle additional for Aga 2 for Drieky. He's going with the bug net strats. I appreciate the fun, but yeah, unfortunate time loss here for sure. But down goes Aga 2 for Drieky. Kaesden really in the driver's seat here now with that end of the gauntlet. Like, his GT was good. The Aga 2 fight really going that much cleaner for Kaesden, making a huge difference here into the climb. And like I said, with those silver arrows, the red guards don't make that big of a difference. Good spin there with the tempered sword. I'd rag on Kaes for the red boom, but I know he doesn't care. But that is the Aga Tower climb for Kaes. He's coming up on his Aga 1 fight. Through the door at roughly 1:49. So we'll get a good glimpse of the actual time difference entering Aga 1. Yeah, I mean, this is still a race. Like, if anything goes wrong for Kaesden on Ganon, Drieky is not out. It's just, like, it's... You know, I don't want to say nothing can ever happen, because stuff happens. We've all been there. But 1:49:52-ish for Drieky, so about a 50-plus second lead for Kaesden at this point, and it really is off the back of a great Aga 2 fight for Kaesden. That Aga 2 fight from Kaesden was pretty much picture perfect, and that's roughly where that 20-second gain is. But just the Ganon fight left here for Kaes, with a spot in the second round on the line. But good start there. He's got... This is good for phase 1. He will be fine. He's into phase 2, so good 1 cycle for phase 1. Going for his 1 cycle phase 2. I think he's got it, given he's not slashing more. Nice. So, well, good 1 and 1. Yeah, there's no RNG for these fights. They do have the same patterns for Aga and Ganon. Good double to start here. He was hoping to get a torchlight, but unfortunately it doesn't happen, but no worries, there's a double to finish this fight off. He's given himself a little bit of space before the bridge. He shouldn't walk off. There we go. Get your GGs in chat for Kaesden. Kaesden finishing first today with a official race time of 1:51.37. Congrats to Kaesden. That means he is moving on to the round of 32, where his opponent will be Maniacal. We will wait for Drieky to finish up because Drieky's not far behind, also entering into his phase 4. This is what Kaesden was going for. Definitely a stronger end to the Ganon fight here for Drieky. Unfortunately, like as I said, already down about 50 seconds entering that fight. So, but get your GGs in chat for Drieky. He will be crossing the bridge here and finishing in second with a 1:52.24. So overall, about 47 seconds difference between our two runners. But we are now joined by both Drieky and Kaesden. GGs, guys.
Hey, GG.
Hey, where's the seed?
Yeah. Apparently, we just have close races.
Yeah, I mean, good for us. It means it's better for the restream, I guess. And yeah, it was. Yeah, and I really enjoyed it. I don't. I like it how I rooted overall.
Yeah, there's a couple jokes in the seed, and I don't think either of them, based on us talking in race time after, it sounds like neither of us really missed any of them for the most part. So.
Yeah, I'll say, Kaesden, I do have a question to start off. I don't know if it did anything or you even noticed it. When you were going up for TR the first time, was your intention to go into Hera to get the big chest, or were you going to run by it either way? So the Dead Rock did change your route.
I thought about it, but I was just like, I've cleared so much of the game, and I felt like that was being a little overly thorough. So I considered it a couple times when I was right by Hera. I just didn't want to commit to it.
I figured the Dead Rock
I could find it. Yeah, well, I mean, the Dead Rock kind of sealed the deal when I tried to knock it out of the way. It blocks the stairs. It's like, well, we're not going in there. Like, that's why I had climbed that side. If that's the first time or the second time up the mountain, I got the ether tablet. I was like, I'm just going to go in there because the third key is going to be there. And the Dead Rock blocked it. And I was like, well, I'm not going to wait for that. I'm not going to try and off-screen it. We'll just go. Like, I'll clear the front of TR. I'll clear DDM. I can always come back and still do this right before Spike Cave or something like that. But then pulling the flippers, it's like, okay, I know where I'm going now. I don't need to worry about anything else.
No, it made a lot of sense. And kind of the question for both of you, because this race, like, if you get a chance, watch this back. It's really quite the compelling watch. Both of you taking down Thieves Town and both deciding to go to Pyramid Ferry and finding the flute. Like, what was two items for go a bridge too far at that point to go rush GT? Or
it was a little bit, especially with missing the GT big. I'm a little more conservative with taking GT mode without it if I'm not one from go. So it's
the exact same idea.
Yeah, it's a very much a. I wonder what key that is.
Hera Small.
Very much. Oh, it's Hera Small. Okay.
Yeah. Which, like, this kind of feeds into where the difference of this race comes in is, you both go to Thieves, you both clear it, which you had to. That give you both 7th Crystal. Kaze, you run to Desert. Drieky goes to Pyramid Ferry, gets Flute, gets to do Desert and Mire together.
Oh, wow.
Kaze, you go and get Pyramid Ferry after Desert. Drieky, on the other hand, instead of going right from Mire up to the Ganon's Tower, does the green pendant turn in as well as the ped pull, and then also checks that Hera basement. And unfortunately, like, that's kind of the big difference here. It was a back and forth race, and
just a couple checks too far.
Yep.
Yeah, towards the end, like, that's why I skipped cutscene and checkerboard. It's like I cleared almost the entire game. Like I'm gonna have to cut a corner somewhere, and I'm running out of corners to cut, so I'll just try and play what I think are the safest possible skips I could do, like the extra mirror transitions for checkerboard and going back and forth to get back into Mire. Like that's a lot. I considered doing it after Mire. I might have still had time if I had done that one, but anything else and I would have been cooked.
Yep.
Yeah, no, for me it was more like I didn't want it to skip anything, mostly because I'm here to have fun, and I always feel terrible if I finish a seed and I see that I skip something. So I prefer to do what I feel I'm not going to regret later. And I was like, yeah, I want to take this, to check everything in Mire, check the green pendant, pull the pad and check error, because I don't know, I had a feeling about it might be the solution. And honestly, I thought I was so much more behind, so I was considering doing error basement, mostly because I thought I go straight to GT, it might be just the game. And I was trying to take kind of a shortcut of 5 minutes, but you know, it was closer than that, which is, I'm pretty happy with this result, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, if you pull Harris Small was on PED, I guess. Like if you pull that, I kind of completely agree. Like that's kind of an out at that point. Like you almost have to follow up on it. So
yeah, and that was kind of like, you know, I can say that the end was that during the race there was a lot of outs from both sides. You know, Drieky, you go into Eastern first after Saha. Kaesden got to single dip Eastern, but Drieky, you got the money out of Eastern that let you get Zora to get that lamp. Kaesden played back into Logic eventually to get that lamp off of Zora. Like there was a lot of this back and forth. It was, you know, keys when you're in pod, you have 3 keys and you open Harmless. Drieky only does uses the 2 keys. So when he gets Bow out of Eastern, he gets to beat Helma. Like,
you know,
that was just this bounce back and forth between the two of you was just interesting across the board.
Yeah, and that was on my mind with pod. Like after I find the bow in Eastern, I was like, I seem to remember Drieky did not spend the 3rd key or 2nd key or whatever it was in the cross hunt game. So there's a good chance that Drieky was able to finish pod after Eastern. So like part of the seed like that is definitely on my mind. Yeah. Like that could be, you know, that's an extra trip through the maze and getting back to pod, and not to mention having to run all the way over to pod because Flute didn't show up till the end. So actually, I guess there's no way you could ever flute to pod in this seed.
Yeah, just seeing the CRs come up for both of you now. Practically even. I mean, I guess K's, you picked up a couple of scoutables that Drieky didn't. But
yeah, something somewhere.
Say, most of that's actually right side GT.
Okay, that would check out.
Drieky going for the full rando rush.
Almost. So, I just do hope room before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not full rush, but you know. I wasn't sure if we were going to see, like, you were almost looks like you were setting up to do, like, some kind of DM strat, but then you just decided to kill the Stalfos and continue on, so...
No, I was not planning on doing it, I was just forgetting to kill them before I was taking the chest, and I was like, oh, yeah, I should kill them, wait, where's my firewall? And I was just a bit confused. That's all.
Fair enough. So, of course, what this result does mean is, unfortunately for Drieky, this is the end of your main tournament run. Congratulations on making it to top 64 for sure. And
yeah, you know, I mean, it was a goal for me. I was just trying to pass the group stage. After this, it was just bonus, and I was just hoping the run to not be a stump, and having both races that close, I'm just super happy. I'm glad of everything and no regrets. So yeah, that was a pretty good main tournament for me, clearly.
That's the thing. Like I talk to Kaesden all the time, and he's kind of had the same attitude you did of like, hey, I made it through groups and I'm in brackets, so like this is awesome. So
yeah, that was a goal. So I got my goal completed. For the rest, I really wanted to get close races, at least for this one. It was 2 really close races, so yeah, like I said, I'm really happy with everything, how it turned out.
Awesome. And then for Kaesden, this does mean you are moving on to the round of 32. We already know your opponent. You will be facing off with Maniacal.
Yeah, that'll be a fun race. I know our scheduling will probably be a little bit easier, I think. I feel like we have
just a smidge.
A little bit closer time zones and kind of when we're usually awake and doing things. So, but yeah, no, I'm was happy making brackets the first time and getting out of round 1. Like that's setting the bar high for next year.
Cool. So, anything else before we close up here?
Oh, thanks for the restream. Thanks as always. It's always fun. GG's again to Drieky.
GG's to you. Good luck for the rest. Thank you for the restream. Was nice. Yeah, now I'm going back to what I'm the best at this game, and it's creating more sprites.
Well, hopefully we'll see you whenever the next big tournament is. Always good to have such a varied community and I got to meet Drieky this year at SGL, so it was a pleasure and good to see you here in the main tournament stuff.
Yeah, same. Was fun.
But yeah, so do make sure to give our runners a follow. Big shout outs as well to our tracker today, Nervendeutsch. It was great having Nervendeutsch along for the ride on this one. In terms of races for the rest of today, I will say, if you are not randoed out yet, in 25 minutes over on SpeedGaming 2, we will have a game between P-Train and Malxanthalos. This is also a round of 64 game. They are playing Cross Hunt, once again, SG2 at 4:10 Eastern Time, so about 25 minutes from now. Blue Link and Phoenix are on the call. So it should be a good one. It says it's game 2. I don't know what the result of game 1 is to tell you who's up. And then tonight we do have a late night race, 11:10 p.m. Eastern Time right here on SpeedGaming. So we're about 7 hours out from that one. It's Jamo versus Vextifer. This is game 2. I do know the result of game 1 in that series. Vextifer winning game 1. This will be Cross Hunt tonight for game 2. I do see Dr. Bob currently scheduled on the call there. We're still looking for some tracking, and I think we'll have a second co-com with him. But still 2 great races to watch tonight. I do recommend watching them. And plenty of main tourney action gonna happen for the rest of this year, really. Brackets should go pretty much through the end of 2024. I think they'll be done before the new year. So keep watching all your races here on SpeedGaming, and we'll talk to y'all later. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. Later, everybody.